I'll just take the honors
Okay.
and introduce
Okay.
our first player. So, let's see, who do we have here? So, the pink Zerg player is actually the one who is playing on the Yeonsu on the top right corner of the Yeonsu Leather Edition. His name, of course, is JohnnyREcco.
Ooh, Johnny. Sounds like kinky. Playing for Core Gaming, of course, and his opponent, though, in the bottom left corner, playing for MYI. Give it up for the one and only. Give it up for jjakji, the Red Terran.
Yeah. As I said before, I'm pretty excited for this series, and also I'm a little bit saddened by the fact that this is only going to be a best of one instead of a best of three. But you know, what can you do?
Yeah.
Still, it's gonna be an awesome map. So let's see what exactly is going on right now. So, I mean, in the first minute of this particular matchup, you just can't really tell much about what kind of openings they will go for, unless something gets sent across the map very, very early on, in forms of maybe an SCV being pulled out of the Terran base pretty quickly, so he can throw down a 11-11 proxy or something like that. But still, right now in this particular game, jjakji is going for a very, very, very standard and very, very often used Reaper expand.
Exactly, and he's just gonna get the good info. He always does, or Terrans usually do. And by the way, I'm always fixing the sound. And just so you know, guys. In any case, 15 hatchery for Johnny, and he's gonna play, standard TVZ, well, CVT matchup. Gonna take gas before pool. I have a feeling, a little bit of a tingle, and we should be seeing pool as well, following this up quite quickly. Here comes the gas, and pool should be following right away. And yeah, I mean, it is a standard TVZ so far, nothing special. Of course, jjakji is, probably the best Terran there is, to play this tournament today. And I've got to say, he was a GSL champion.
He was.
And he is still a Korean player. Has 400 APM. No, I'm just joking. He's got 400 APM. At least once I clicked the M button, there was 403 APM, and I'm not kidding you. You will be watching this VOD, and you will see I said 400. He went to 400. Well, in any case, normal Reaper expansion.
Yeah. At the same time, jjakji kind of decided to delay the supply depot a little bit so he could throw down command center a little bit faster, which is pretty cool. At the same time, this opening from JohnnyREcco is pretty cool as well because of how things line up when you decide to go for a 15 hertz 17 gas 60 pool opening, because once the spawning pool finishes and completes, you have around 400 minutes, so you can build a queen and 2 sets of links immediately.
Yeah, exactly, and we see that 2 links are gonna fend off the Reaper for now. A beautiful save by Johnny here. A queen will spawn in a couple of moments time, but of course the Reaper will still be running around like madmans and facing the... well, I'm laughing in the face of danger, ha! Do you know where that's from? And I just made the most stupid goblin voice ever, but I love that quote of the utmost, You know where that's from?
I'm not exactly sure, but I am sure of this, that these Reapers are actually doing more damage than they're supposed to in the early game, and they're kind of forcing JohnnyREcco to make even more links, which is a position that you really don't want to be at the starting stages of the game. But the Reapers do get fanned off for now, but as the energy has kind of regenerated, and as jjakji macros it up at home, they'll come back again to do even more damage.
Yeah, and we see the Queen here getting low on HP a little bit. jjakji gonna micro himself out of here, but the Queen is halfway through its HP, and that means one more return trip from those Reapers, and the Queen is bye-bye here. And to fix you a little bit on a history lesson, or not a history lesson, but more of a gaming knowledge lesson, that was from the Warcraft 3. The Goblin Zeppelin said that. I'm laughing in the face of danger, and then a laugh ensued. But of course the Reaper's coming back into play. jjakji snaps 2 drones before Johnny will respawn here, and link speed is now complete, but still, oh my god, what the hell is jjakji microing here?
He's actually doing one of the things that are becoming very more and more popular in this particular matchup. I mean, right at around 6th minute mark, when a lot of Terran players actually pull the Reapers out in expectation of metabolic boost being complete for the Zerglings, they actually take the Reapers back to the base and kill even a couple of more drones. I mean, and that really surprises Zerg players by a lot. At the same time, JohnnyREcco right here is trying to kill a couple of Acids, a couple of Hellions, but I mean, not really much will be killed, and it's a nice hold by jjakji. And I mean, JohnnyREcco right now is not in the best position in the game because of how because of, I mean, his third base was actually delayed by a little bit. If you start with this particular opening, you want your third base to be started at around 5:30 to 6-minute mark. So he's in a little bit of a disadvantageous position, but at the same time, he does have a lot of queens. Right now, his creep spat for this particular point in the game is looking pretty slick. So he should be fine.
Yeah, we also got to mention that Johnny is not really holding back on drones behind this as well. Now he is on 45, which could have been 50 by now, but still, I mean, considering he had to deal with those that many units, and right now we have a Hellion play coming in by jjakji. This could be dangerous for Johnny. He's got to be very careful. jjakji, though, we all know that he likes, he likes to poke around like a madman, and we see Johnny's gonna respond with Lings. This is not the response he's looking for, and he's gotta be careful. The Lings will burn away, and Johnny is going to be pushed back into his natural. The Hellions are still coming in. The Queens could be killed. One more shot, but no, jjakji will lose a couple of those Hellions.
Yeah, I mean, those Hellions are still doing quite a lot of damage, and one Queen does actually fall, and I mean, that was actually because there was no transfused energy available for him, and right now he's still forced to make links, which is a position that you don't want to be to if you want to play a macro-orientated Zerg versus Terran game, but right now the Queens do have the energy for a transfuse, so none of the Queens should be falling, but at the same time he doesn't really have any Queens, I mean, on the natural, so he is missing a couple of Injaks because of that.
Exactly, and we'll see he's coming back with those Hellions. jjakji is going to repair them, and probably going to see another move out soon. We've got 4 more barracks is coming in, and actually no, but that's a starport, not a barracks. Okay, we've got 3 more barracks coming in as well as a starport, so Medivac's going to start up, and we've got combat shields already on spar. So reach here, we're going to see a combat shield timing. What do you think?
This timing is going to be very brutal because of how the upgrades are lining up for jjakji.
Yeah.
At the same time, he has already taken his third base, and he's in a prime position to take this game because of how much he delayed JohnnyREcco's economy and how much and how strong his economy is looking right now, and the push that is going to be coming in the next minute or so is going to be very deadly in my opinion.
Yeah, we also got to consider JohnnyREcco's lair is very late. Only at the 10-30 minute mark will it finish, and that's actually considerably late. By now he should have started his possibly 2-2. He should have had the Spire on the way if he wanted a great deal of control of the map. But here we see with the third base uncontested, jjakji is just taking the reins of this game.
There is actually one of the weaknesses if you're playing this particular build order, and it's in the fact that you kind of delay the layer timing in favor of getting the upgrades a little bit quicker before you actually started. At the same time, we also have to keep in mind that he did take quite a lot of damage. At the same time, JohnnyREcco is pushing right now, and he's already at the edge of the creep.
Yeah, exactly. And you mean jjakji is pushing, and JohnnyREcco's got to be careful. He needs banelings. A couple of them are morphed in, but no baneling speed means jjakji can micro his way out. And here we see beautiful micro by jjakji, losing those Hellions, though that might be a little bit of a mistake. JohnnyREcco has 40 lings on the way, and 1-1 Marines though are available. Here comes another connection. JohnnyREcco will pull back. Actually, jjakji will lift up and just go into the main. A Medivac full of Marines could be killed here. jjakji gotta be careful, and he pulls but home.
Yeah, the main goal of this 1-1 push actually was to kind of force the third player, to force units. And right now, JohnnyREcco is finding himself in a little bit of an awkward position. Because he actually had to start his macro hatcher before his fourth hatcher was started, and right now he's kind of lacking behind in economy. Also, his drone count, his worker count is actually really behind JohnnyREcco. And the push with 2-2 from from jjakji is going to be so damn deadly. Yeah.
Exactly. Halfway through the upgrades are done. We've got more Medivacs joining this, this stunning game, and we have +1 shields as well, armor for those mech units as well. So those Medivacs are going to die dead easily. And finally, 8 Mutalisks on the way at the 13-minute mark for JohnnyREcco, and those are really late Mutalisks. Now at home, jjakji is already building turrets, so he knows what he's dealing with. He probably suspects Mutalisk, and he sees them all. 1 Mutalisk might die here. Nope, not gonna happen. But here comes the move out from jjakji. The 2-2 is about to finish up, and JohnnyREcco is gonna be in a little bit of an upgrade disadvantage. We see jjakji as well walling in on the left side of the map, just to prevent any possible run-by.
Yeah, what jjakji is looking right now is just to make some decent trade, and right now we can already see the engagement going on. A couple of banelings do get really nice connections, but at the same time the army for jjakji was looking strong, but he does get pushed back for now.
Yeah, bailing connection there for Johnny was just splendid. The Mulas could come in, and here we see jjakji on the full defensive now. He's gonna be able to defend against this. Shouldn't have too much of an issue. We see the Mulas gonna die as well. Johnny not looking at his Mutalisk, but the bailings do connect unwantingly for jjakji, and the supply dropping a little bit. But here come more reinforcements. jjakji, though, you know, right now he's still fighting his way around, and he should be able to hold a good mine connection though for Johnny. He does kill those remaining Mutalisk, well, not Mutalisk, but Marines, and the Mutalisk do pull back. Of course, there's only a couple remaining. Johnny not being too careful. A couple of bailings coming in as well. Marines got to be careful. The connections are good for jjakji though, and he will save his third base as well as you know, those medivacs.
Yeah, right now he's still in a decent, advantageous position if we look at this game, because the 7th and 8th Vesping Geyser still have not been started for JohnnyREcco, and he won't have those overwhelming Mutalisks amounts that he really wants to have in this game.
Yeah.
At the same time, jjakji already is starting his third base, actually, which would be a planetary fortress, and that should be pretty awesome for him. Right now, JohnnyREcco is actually trying to find a little bit of an opening to maybe snipe a medivac or two with his Mutalisk. Yeah, but a Mutalisk does fall, which is kind of bad for JohnnyREcco, because he really does not have the gas necessary to build a lot of them.
He needs the big Muta clump. A good connection as well for jjakji. There are more mines coming and dropping in. They will not connect though. That's a very good kill for JohnnyREcco, killing those Widow mines. We see a couple of lanes as well, gonna try and intercept those units from jjakji, reinforcing a drop though, unscouted, well, was scouted as well as JohnnyREcco tried to respond to it, but the Mutalisk were just too busy, and the drop gonna go into the main unprotected here, so a couple of drones might die as well. JohnnyREcco still not pulling them. That is actually a big mistake here, and the Widow mines, well, I know JohnnyREcco just losing drones again here.
Yeah, he's losing, and at the same time, jjakji is also posturing to threaten the third base of JohnnyREcco, and the Mudamans are actually in a beautiful position. Also, the Marines are doing quite a lot of damage to the hatchery, and oh my god, let's see how the Benny connections go. They're actually quite decent, but at the same time, the army supply for jjakji is twice the amount of the JohnnyREcco's, and it's gonna be a quick GG.
Yeah, and JohnnyREcco will be forced to tab out here. And jjakji takes a good game here and will advance to the next round, eliminating Johnny in the round of 16.